Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Big Z and the OGs podcast. I got a special guest for you guys. I knew this person for what,
13 years
over,
now.
yeah, over
This
10 years,
September.
man. Yeah. Um, yeah, man, this is one of the most honest, most loyal people I've ever met in my life. This person
Oh, yeah.
been through the tough times
Mm,
and the best times. If I could count on one person to know me at least 90%, this would be the person. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
what's up, y'all? It's Lily, aka Thick Filet 92. No, sir. um, but that's my best friend, y'all. This September, yeah, will be, um, what, 13, 12, 13 years? We met in 2011.
2011.
2011, yeah.
How I
It's a
like to
long time.
how I like to start off the show. I like to ask everybody. Everybody knows this. And the first question I like to start the show is, how you doing today on a scale of 1 through 10?
Um, I'm gonna say a 6.
Six.
A 6.
You gotta get that up, man. It's almost the weekend, man.
I know, but you know, my kids, it's, single mommy and is tough.
Yeah, but I'll double back. I'm probably about I'm I'm probably about a seven, seven and a
Okay,
half.
I'll
You
I'll
know,
take that. I mean, it's one away from mine, but
you know,
you're a little
I
further.
lost I lost I lost some respect for some their family members yesterday.
Mm,
So
mm.
yeah, and, man, you know what? And we can start there. I don't know. I really don't want to get into politics. You know, what I don't do, I don't ask people who voted and don't vote. I don't get into that stuff.
Mhm.
But I got a question for you. As a
Yes.
woman, right?
Mhm.
Do you feel as if a woman can not take control, but lead millions of people?
Absolutely.
How so?
Why can't we?
It's like if someone to ask me, Isaiah, do you think a woman can run the country? I'm gonna tell them no, and I'm not gonna tell them, oh, I just don't think they can. I'll give them a
No, no, no.
legit
I'm,
answer
but no, I'm asking why. I feel like the question is not so much if we can, it's why do people think we can't? And is it
because,
is it
right,
because of her or is it just women in general?
women in general,
Why?
because both women and men are emotional, but women make decisions based off their emotions,
Not
and
all of them.
you cannot do that. You cannot do that when you're serving a country. And that is no disrespect to women. Like I've been called a feminist multiple times in the past 2 to 3 days. And it has nothing with me because I'm anti-woman. If anybody know Isaiah, I'm pro-woman.
Mhm.
But there's a thin line. I was just having a conversation with somebody. This is and this was a female I was having a conversation with, and they said there are women there's things in this world that a woman should be doing that a man has no business doing, and then there's some stuff that a man should be doing that no woman should be doing, right? Don't get me wrong, right? You're a single
Mhm.
mother. My mother's a single mother. There's a plethora of single mothers. But let's be real. Was it in your plans to be a single mother?
Of course not.
Hey, nobody wants to be a single mother. Just that's just what the cards entail, right? A
Mhm.
man, a man is what, right? In general, a black man ain't was supposed to what? Cry, show his emotions, all this other stuff, right? A
So they
woman,
say.
so they say. So, but that's just the mantra of you growing up as a black man, big boys don't cry, all this other stuff, right? I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure other races can relate to that, but a woman can cry and do all this other stuff, which they should. They're very emotional creatures. So now, what if said person was having a man problem? What's the chances of her taking that on every man in the country? It's very high.
She's, I don't agree with that actually. I may have to disagree with you for the first time because I we don't ever disagree. I may have to disagree with you. Not, I don't think when we look at history, I feel like people forget certain parts of it. And I could be wrong with this timeline, but I'm trying to find it so I can uh, read it aloud. But I saw this timeline right here. Nope, I don't know where it is. But I saw this timeline, and basically, it was a timeline of when women were allowed to do anything. Like, it had like 1970 whatever, 1980 whatever, 19 whatever. And it had when white women were allowed to vote, 40 years later, black women were allowed to vote, and they were, white women were allowed to work and all these things. I feel like we were never even given a chance to do any of these things for anyone to say we can't do it. Nobody is giving us a chance. I feel like people are going off of assumptions of women that they've dealt with in their past. How do you know that every woman is going to make an emotional decision when it comes to taking care of the world? I feel like
What's
men
that?
have this power trip thing, and things that we actually really need, they don't really give a fuck about.
But there's actually evidence of her doing such things in California when she had rule of power.
And what example
Perfect
do you?
example, right? This young lady, right, was like a governor, whatever she was of California, right? She
Mhm.
had she had let's just say she had power before she became vice president, right?
Mhm.
And she particularly only put African Americans in jail. Prime example, there was a mother who had who had a child with cerebral palsy, so the kid missed a lot of days of school.
Mhm.
So he made it a court order for the mother to go to jail because the kid wasn't going to jail, wasn't going to school, even though the kid had cerebral palsy, and it wasn't like she was keeping the kids from school for no reason. So now, if you could do something like that, right?
Mhm.
How can I trust you if you in a rule of power of the entire United States?
So then that just answers the question that I asked earlier when I said, is it all women or is it just her? Because you're speaking on something she did specifically. Not all women did that. She did that.
But this is why I say me personally all, because I've been called by by a particular uh family member that I had highly respect for. They called me prejudiced and racist. Ultimately called me a coon because, you know, I didn't said for set quote unquote black woman, but whatever the case, whether if she's African American or not, the fact that I didn't vote for this woman, so now I am prejudiced. And I simply told this person, listen, my mother was there having this conversation. I said, my mother could run for president and I won't vote for my mother. you know,
Mhm.
unless, and I am a person, I can be wrong. You know, there's there possibly is a strong white, black, don't matter woman, Indian, whatever woman that could probably rule. But in order to rule something like that, it can't be an emotional gig. It has to be for the better, you know?
Mhm.
And that's just how I feel. And and
You're entitled to that opinion.
and I'm okay with nobody not liking the other person. I'm not the biggest fan of the biggest person either, but I don't think I deserve to be called out of my name.
Well, absolutely not.
So
That's
then
a
when
little excessive.
when I get called on my name, I'm gonna defend myself and I won't apologize for that because it don't ever have to go that way. If I'm arguing with somebody, this is why I typically don't argue with nobody because emotions get involved and people start doing outlandish shit. you know,
Mhm.
I'd rather have a confrontation with somebody with me talking like this. If I gotta yell at you or you gotta yell at me to get your point across, I don't want to have that conversation with you because things start getting said.
Yeah,
And
that's not
I'm a
necessary.
firm believer is I don't want to say something I gotta
You're
say
gonna be.
sorry for.
Mhm.
You know, I don't believe in saying shit I don't mean to fucking hurt your
Take it back.
feelings. If I'm gonna
Mhm.
say something, even if it came off rude, I meant it.
Right.
And I may double back and apologize. If I hurt your feelings, I'm gonna double back and I'm gonna apologize. Not for what I said, but for offending your feelings.
Mhm.
You know, I
And
think
you're entitled to
honesty.
that.
I think honesty is the best policy. You know, so I only ask that to say that is because you know that shit really been having a mark for the past couple of days because you know just because this is for anybody who believe in any religion and any government source or whatever you believe in, don't make it so personal to the fact that you're sitting here telling somebody how you truly feel about them.
Mm.
If you are a Christian and I tell you I don't believe in Christianity, don't call me out my name
Right.
because it's
That's
not.
not necessary.
Because if y'all really believed in the man upstairs, you know. You're contradicting your what you believe
Mhm.
in.
I say that all the time. I say that all the time. I say that shit all the time.
And that's why I personally stopped going to those places because, and I get it, you're supposed to go in there, you know, to reverse your sins and do better, and I get the motive of it, right? But a high percentage of them people are hypocrites, and we are
Exactly.
hypocrites, but
And
them
that's why
people
I
are
have
the
my own relationship
yeah,
with
and they
him
are
outside of church.
ultra ultra hypocrites where they going to church to fix what they need to do, but they going out of church and doing the same thing they just went to church for. So
And of course.
5 days, 6 days out the week, you're a straight asshole, and then the one day you want to cry to Jesus. That's to me, I don't think that's how that works.
Exactly. And that's why a lot of people choose to practice their faith outside of church on their own. Like me, I grew up in church. I went to a
Mm-hmm.
church up until I was maybe a freshman in high school,
Me too.
and I was going
Sophomore
from
year.
like maybe second grade. And I lied. I started in the little kids Sunday school class, like the baby Sunday school class, and I worked my way around the church all the way to the adult class. Like I just reached before we got to the grown up class, but I chose to leave the church because there were a lot of things that I didn't understand that I
Mm-hmm.
was questioning. And instead of
Mm-hmm.
explaining to me the things that I was questioning, my answer that I got was because that's just the way it is, or because God said
Mm-hmm.
so, or because it's in the book. Okay, why? Like, things just didn't add up. And then all, like you said, all the hypocrisy, the talking behind people's backs, and the secrets, and it was just too much. And I just couldn't, like, the forcing your opinions on me, or the forcing, like trying to force your rules or your beliefs on me, when I'm like, it was just a lot. And I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing this. I will
To
practice my own faith by myself.
to belittle somebody for not, because you can't not force them to believe what you was
It's crazy.
brainwashed to believe is crazy
Right.
to me. To
It's
me,
facts.
to me, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody. You know, this is where I get to talk my deep stuff. I'm not talking sports and none of that shit. I get to talk deep. That's
Mhm.
why. That's why I'm glad we agree. We're gonna. Oh, we'll drop that news at the end. But yeah, I'm glad we agreed on what we agreed on, because it's cool to talk sports, but I like to people. If people who know me, I'm a deep thinker,
Mhm.
But as far as church, I think it's a pyramid scheme,
Mm.
And and once again, I don't mean to offend anybody, but if I offend you, then maybe this is not the podcast for you, because maybe the truth hurts. To me, it's a pyramid scheme. And why I say it's a pyramid scheme is because you got the pastor, right?
Mhm.
Who saying all the stuff in the Bible that 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 he's saying that Jesus is telling him, but he's freestyling this stuff for your money, where he's going on vacations and buying new vehicles. And if I go to church on Sunday, right, and I don't get no communion, right, everybody in that room looking at me weird. But I thought church is free. I thought the word was free.
Mhm.
Why do I gotta give them $5 to hear a word? And I get it, it's a tax-free hustle, and that's why I think it's a pyramid, because the preacher fucking brainwash whoever, and then them people brainwash the audience, and then the audience go out there in the free world and try to brainwash these people in the open world. Which people don't understand is, if you read the Bible in church and if you read the Bible at home, you're going to get two different perspectives.
Agreed. Agreed.
Like, church is the reason why I feel the way I do about Jesus. And one day I'm gonna mature enough, and I'm gonna buy a Bible, and I'm gonna read it front to back, and I'm gonna read it on my own time. And I know for a fact that's gonna change my belief on it. You know,
Yeah. Mhm. I'm with you.
I've
110%.
seen I've seen family members I've seen family members, not to single nobody out. I've seen family members go to church crying to Jesus, and they come home and disrespect their wives.
Mm.
you know,
That's deep.
it's, it's this thing, So, that's why, I tell people all the time, the two most you're not supposed to be judgmental. Jesus don't want you to be judgmental, but it so happened that the most judgmental people are Christians.
Mhm. Unfortunately, it's sad to say,
How
but it's so
how do
true.
that add up?
You're not supposed to
Yeah.
judge,
Hmm. Like
but
this
that's what
this
y'all
this
do.
song I seen on social media probably about like and it irritated the hell out of me. It was somebody took a photo of somebody who was covered up in piercings and tattoos, and they was sitting in church getting the word, and somebody wrote a big ass passage judging this person while you sitting next to this person in church. You just contradicted yourself. If this person don't belong in church, and then, but I thought church was for healing and forgiveness and
Right.
change.
Come as you are. And
Thought that was the
people
whole.
get tattoos for mad different reasons. Like that, certain things really bother me. Like the whole Halloween being demonic. Like, I understand in certain aspects, like, some of the costumes are, like for them it's witchcraft and okay, whatever. I get that. But there are also other things that people are being, like cartoon characters and animals. And like, it's not just that. So when people deprive their children the right to celebrate, like, or just go out and get candy because it's fun, it's like y'all are really, it's not that deep. Like, you're really not gonna go to hell because you put on a costume and go and get candy. Like you said, what different is doing that than what you do on a regular basis that you're not supposed to be doing?
It's all contradictory because when they was kids, they was trick or treating. Oh, you can't have sex before marriage. So then, how did you have me? You never got married, and
Right.
it's all contradictory. It's all contradictory,
And
great.
some of them will be like, "Oh, we were married first, and then okay, sure." That was in like the 1600s. This
Right.
is this is the 20th century. Like,
Right. Like,
please.
of course, I don't want your kids making the same mistakes we did. Or once I start having kids, I don't want my kids to make the mistakes that I have. But if my son, if my daughter did have sex or fucking went to a party without me knowing, snuck out and went to a party, or if they smoked weed without me knowing, I would want them to feel comfortable and tell me
Enough
about
to
the
right,
mistake that they
right.
told me. Oh, dad, I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't want you to judge me. As a
That's why a
parent,
lot of these people rebel. A
yeah,
lot of these kids be rebelling.
as a parent, I'm gonna feel some type of way as a parent. But the first, are you good? Is everything safe? Was it protected? It wasn't protected. Okay, we're gonna get tested because I know I did a lot of stuff to rebel my mom.
Mhm.
For example, going back to the church, right? I hope my mother never ever hears this because I might disappoint her, but it is what it is. And my family members, whoever listens, might snitch me out. But it is what it is. Like I said, I used to go to church, but you know how black parents is. Listen, if everybody going to church, you going to church.
Mhm.
Like, so when my mom started going to church, my sister started going to, well, when my mom and my father started going to church, the following week, it was time for me, my brother, and my sister to go. That was just the reality of the situation. Middle school, go to church every Sunday, don't miss a Sunday. Freshman, don't miss a Sunday. Sophomore year, I started to rebel. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to church, but I'm gonna go high as hell. I'm gonna fucking be hungover. How I was getting alcohol. Don't ask questions, everybody. Just know I'll have some alcohol the night before. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna go to church, I'm gonna do this shit my way. So I was old enough to have my own word and be like, Mom, I don't want to go to church no more. When I was around 17, junior high, Mom, I don't want to go to church no more. Like, this not for me.
Mhm.
And became a young adult at that point, to the point where I could make my own decisions to a certain extent, and she respected, just certain stuff like that. Or when my mother fucking worked third shift, I'll sneak outside to go see a female or something that I wasn't supposed to be doing, you know,
Badass.
rebellious. And I wouldn't want my kids to do that.
Mhm.
Obviously, like, hey, dad, can I go to a party? nine times out of ten, I'll probably say no, but every now and then I will say yes, just so they don't have to feel like they have to rebel. But even
Mhm.
if they make a mistake, I want them to be comfortable to tell me because I know I made the mistakes. I'm not gonna try to protect them from the world because how they ever gonna grow up,
Mhm. This is
you
very
know?
true.
You know. But in the same token, like as I say that I raised my brother a little differently. I didn't allow him to be around certain people, but that needed to be had because yeah, and I'm glad because he's on his way to graduating fucking college soon. So
Amen. Woo woo.
yes sir. So it's just I don't understand. I get it. Uh, As a single mother, right? Do you want to be your kids your kid's parent first or their best friend first?
Mm. Parents, obviously. I want to be both. It's hard. It's so hard. Obviously, they're parent first because I need to. I feel like right now, oh, it's hard, but I'm gonna say parent first because of the relationship that I have with my mom. I truly want that with my boys, and because of the relationships that they have with their dads, I feel like in a way there's like maybe part of me that wants to be a friend first, just in certain just in like the nurturing aspect because of, like I said, how their relationships are with their dads, but I'm obviously always going to be a parent first. When they get older, I want to be their friend. Like, I want to make sure that they know that, like you said, they can come to me first because I'd rather them come to me than, like you say, do the shit on the street, get in trouble, and me not know anything about it until I hear some shit done popped off. Like,
Hmm.
I want them to feel comfortable, and I want them to always, even now, feel comfortable to come to me and talk to me about stuff. And my kids are very expressive. They are very expressive. So I just try to always make sure that I keep that space for them, but still have my authoritative side also so they can see, like, I'm not your friend. And I tell them that all the time. I am not your friend. I am your mother. Like, don't talk to me like I'm one of your little friends. I'm your mom. Same shit our mothers used to say to us. I
Hmm.
say to them because sometimes they be having me confused.
I only ask that because I don't judge no parent. No parent is perfect, but I see parents choosing to be their kids first, like meaning like smoking with them and their friends, drinking with their friends, and all this other crazy nonsense. And it's like I respect it, but you know, how are they gonna grow as young adults if you too busy being their friend more than their parent? Like, my mother,
Right.
she was my friend, but my mother was 75% parent, 25 friend. Like I could go and vent to my mom about whatever it is, what it is. But that's the other 75. Like, listen, boy, this is what it is, and this is what it's gonna be. Like, I'm not one of your friends. You ain't gonna play with me. What I say goes, whether if I
Mhm.
agree with it or not. Right?
Do you
It's like,
still feel like that at this age? Like, I feel like, age matters in this instance, but like, do you feel like that now that you're a grown man?
to be honest, I feel as if the older I've got, the less it became friend and more parent.
Got it.
Because for my situation personally, because you know, I made a dedication to myself to where like I will never ever give up on my mother. I don't give up on the situation. I don't care if I'm living with her, she's living with me, or we living on two different sides of the earth, you know, and that comes with complications. Me and my mother butt heads a lot.
Mhm.
So the more that we butt heads, rather if it's about bills or I'm at an age of my life where I don't let even my mom talk to me some type of way, and I'm like, "Yo, mom, you tripping?" Like, you be like, "Yo, your mom, you can't talk to me like that. I'm your mother." But I'm like, "Listen, we're not doing this. I'm not 14 no more. Like, I've been helping you provide since I was 16. You gotta talk to me with a little bit more respect, you know."
Mhm.
So when we have butt heads like that, the friendship element kind of fades away, but we still have our moments where I could go down there and I can bullshit with her and make her laugh and say some bullshit. There's still moments like that, but since there's other elements to my situation, I say it's more of a parent-son relationship rather than a friendship.
Got it. I say mine's is 50-50 now. 50% friendship, 50% parent, and that's because I'm grown and I done experienced a lot in my teenage years that people don't experience until they're grown.
Hmm.
So because of that, and I feel like the space that my mom had created for me as a child, it gave us the ability to have that relationship now.
But
So,
it's tough though because your two sons they're not gonna value your opinion until they're grown men.
and that really does truly suck. But for me, at least I know I did my part. You know what I mean? At least I know that they know that I'll always be here. So when they are ready to value my opinion and like see all the hard work that I put into them and everything else, then that'll be that. But
Like,
it sucks. I know that. I've had to learn how to accept that.
and that's no disrespect to all the mothers out there, single, not single, married, not married. There's no disrespect to y'all, but a male individual in their life, whether if it's a boyfriend, stepdad, father, uncle, whoever it is, they like is the main state of their life. That male, whatever he say, will overrule a young man until he's his own man.
Mhm.
And then he gonna get older, 18, 19, 20. You're like, damn, a lot of this shit that my mom was right. That girl wasn't shit. Or, that wasn't the right decision. Or, and fucking, I'm like, what do you know? You only a woman. And back then, you'd be like, damn, I sit there. I'm thinking about a lot of shit my mother told me about a woman or a situation. I'm like, damn, she was right. And I just didn't value the situation. But
You see, go ahead.
my mother always approached it when it was a woman. If you happy, I'm happy. I know she ain't all that in the bag of shit, but if you happy, I'm happy. If you love her, I love her. And that's just how my mother, just carried herself. Or I made a bad decision, she might be upset at me, but be like, yo, did you learn from that decision? Just, not try to stomp me down while I'm already down.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I agree. I feel like though sometimes the circumstances are different when there's a single mother and the children's father is not in their life at all, and there's like no male role model aside from, maybe their grandfather or their uncle, opposed to a single mother who co-parents with, the father of her children.
Right.
Because, like you said, the influence is there because they have that. But then there are mothers who do it literally by themselves with no male help at
Well,
all.
if
And the
growing
men still are like outstanding like men. Like they're really valued, like they have respect, like they're I feel like it depends on the situation.
like me, like this is say like if a woman is all you know, yeah. See, but me, my mother and my sister for part of my life, those are the women. Like, yes, I had aunts and uncles and stuff, but like my mother, parent wise, like even when my dad used to live with us, he wasn't really a parent. He was just the guy who put food, like helped put food on the table. He wasn't. I tell people all the time, when it comes as a provider. That dude is A+, but when it comes to being the parent, maybe he wasn't fit to be one.
Hmm.
And that's okay. Not everybody is fit to be a parent, you
That
know?
part.
So, my mother's all I really knew, and I still didn't follow her opinion, you know, I don't regret not doing it because, if I listened to my mother, I wouldn't have made the mistakes I needed to make to raise my brother.
Hmm.
So, I don't regret none of this shit. I didn't listen to my mom because who knows where my brother would be if I didn't fuck up or I didn't, put a pause on my life and, did shit that I regret, make decisions I regret.
Right.
My brother he wouldn't probably be where he's at right now. Who knows? He might still be there. I don't know. We can't tell because that's not where the life path. So. Now I know how life went. I don't regret it at all. I took a big sacrifice for my brother, and now I do that shit a million times over again. Because I know me personally, I'm strong. When I'm right-minded, I'm one of the most strongest, ill-will person you meet. So I get to wherever I want, regardless. I don't give
Hmm.
a fuck if I'm 40 or if I'm 50. Still gonna get to where I need to go. And most people aren't so ill-willed and mentally strong as I am. People be like, oh, if I don't succeed here, then I'm never gonna. Can't think like that. I don't advise anybody to think like that. It's not productive.
It absolutely is not.
Yeah, man. As a parent, what do you feel as if you can approve on?
Um, that's a very good question. I feel like sometimes I feel like it's everything, but then I have to be reminded like, girl, you do so much and you do everything. So stop. But I think the thing that I could give them most is what I'm doing now, which is being present. Like leaving my second job and deciding to go back to school, I'm going to be way more present for them, which means my weekends will be open so I can do things with them, on the weekends now when they can't go to their dad's house, and I can take them to museums, and I can like the things that I want to do with them that I can't do, I can finally do. And I feel like that too is going to change um, their attitude and their behavior because I'm going to be more involved. Not to say that I wasn't before, but we were on like a schedule. We had a routine. It was the same routine every day, but because I was at work so much, the weekend I didn't get to see them. So we didn't get to really do much because it's like focus on studies once we get home. Then we have like a little bit of playtime and we'll do things. But for me, it wasn't enough. Like I always want to do more. And now that I, let one job go, I have all the time to do it. And I think this is the start to, you know, bettering all of us mentally, physically, emotionally. I think this is going to be a good thing.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Can't relate. I'm not a parent. I'm like the close to a parent. I'm not like third base when it comes to parenting, but one day,
It's tough.
here's my perspective on it. At this point, I can't have a kid because if I only have a kid, it's only for to like please my mom, so my mother
Mhm.
can be a grandparent.
Mhm.
And I'm not. I wouldn't say I wouldn't love my child because that's bullshit. Because I love kids and it's son that I created. But I don't think I don't think people say you never will be ready to be a parent, which is true. But like I want to be able to you know, mentally enjoy the ride.
Mhm.
Like all the sleepless and I don't want to be miserable. Even if I'm miserable, I'm enjoying the misery, And
Mhm.
mentally, I'm not there, because you know, between, me getting my life back together, you know, relationships, complications, and, things that, play a part just in life, you know, it's just not right. And I feel so selfish because, like, and my mother deserves to be a grandmother, but it's like, I've been so selfless about a million things in my life, and I
Mhm.
think that's just one thing that I'm willing to be selfish about. And if it takes me until 35 to have my first kid, I'm cool with it because at the end of the day, if everybody knows me, I live a private life. So,
Mhm.
like, not many people will know I even have a kid to begin with.
Right.
Like, so it's like, I'm not doing it for, like people get on there Facebook with and belly bumps every 3 hours and fucking put the baby pictures every other day, and that's cool and that's sweet and that's beautiful. God bless them, but I don't want that for my kid
Mhm.
because my perspective on it, right? Like when the kid first come out the womb, right? First thing they see is a million fucking people and all this other shit. Like, I sometimes really think and be like, dude, people really understand that this baby who don't know much, but I'm pretty sure they don't want fucking cameras all in their fucking face. Like, let them be babies, you know?
Some of these babies will show you on their face. They be rolling their eyes and everything. I've seen it.
Like, but that's a mission I'm gonna fulfill for my mom before she before you know before she's gone. But I just got so many shit I need to accomplish, man. Like this things that I need to check off the list. So I know that whenever I get that blessing to say I am a father now,
And
that my child don't have to worry about a damn thing.
I commend you for that. There's absolutely positively nothing wrong with that. People tend to like mom shame and dad shame when you choose not to be a parent. And They think it's selfish. I don't think it's selfish. I think it's selfish to bring a child into this, in certain aspects, bring a child into this world and, like, you don't have the means to, or want to bring a child into this world when you don't really have the means to do so. Like, yeah, it's true, you'll never be ready because you never know what's going to happen. Like, literally, it's like Russian roulette. You really don't know. But at the same time, like, you need to, like you said, mentally be ready. There's a lot that goes into being a parent. The process, the, like, pregnancy itself. People don't think that it should be like a lot on a man, but that's not really fair to say
And I'll
because
pose a
men
question
have.
to you.
Mhm.
Do you think that, because they say children ruin relationships and marriages, and I see it all the time. But so my question is, do you think either one or both parties not mentally being ready for this child is the reason why relationships and marriages crumble after they have a kid?
Mm, no, because when you are married to someone and have a whoopsie, first of all, for me, y'all are grown ass adults. Y'all are married, you choose not to wear protection. If she's not in birth control, know that there's a possibility you can get pregnant. The pull out method ain't gonna work forever. One of them babies gonna get up there eventually. So it's like, you're marrying someone for better or for worse. Okay, say you had a 5-year plan where you guys weren't gonna have kids for 5 years, and second year in, bam, there's a baby. What are you gonna say? Like, oh my God, like, I wasn't ready. Like, I can't do this. Like, and then what? Now you guys are getting a divorce before the baby even comes, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you know what you're getting yourself into, and that's your wife,
So in
literally,
your
for better or for
perspective,
worse.
why do relationships and marriages crumble? Like in the middle of pregnancy or after pregnancy? Like the baby's already here, and these people are breaking up a year, 2 years after. Why you think? Why you think that is that?
Sometimes, I think it's maybe one party may not be ready, or not even so much ready, but one party just, excuse me, is not. I don't even know what the word is because I don't want to say ready. I don't really like that word, but sure, we'll go with that because I can't think of another word at the moment. But in some situations, I have seen, yes, that one person, i.e., the mom, sometimes it's the dad, because I've seen situations where the dad has taken over and the mother was the one who wasn't doing her part or wasn't on par when it came to responsibilities in terms of being a parent. So I've seen it both sides. But yeah, I guess you can say one person may not mentally be in a state where they can handle all of the responsibility. But again, that's what you chose. So for me, I don't feel like you should have it's not an option. That you don't have an option. You don't have a choice. This is what you have to do. And women feel like that. And I guess men don't understand it. And they feel like the bare minimum that they're doing is enough, and it's not, and vice versa. I feel like more times it's women feeling this way than men, because you see more single mothers than you do single fathers. But, you know,
I think that's
sometimes
actually changing a little bit into
I
today's
I absolutely agree. That's why I
society.
said I know a lot of men that have taken the role because the mothers aren't. I see it a lot more now than, like you
These
said, people actually think.
these women are so ratchet these days. It's
Huh. Listen, tell me about it.
The gorillas and the sexy reds and I once had a female friend told me and this is not an African American woman. This is a white/Indian woman to be specific.
Mhm.
She told me that like when I'm in my right mind, I am a good person, which is true. Like, I'm a homebody, which is I personally know this person, which is true. But then the same person said, when I start to drink, my alter ego becomes sexy red. And that's some of the most unattracting
What?
shit I've ever heard somebody say to me.
What the hell?
That when I start drinking, sexy red is my alter ego. And we're not talking about no young, like this woman is in our age bracket thinking like this. And that is the problem with the world. The problem is this, right? Men been dogs for so many decades now that woman is trying to be like men.
Uh-huh.
And that's not how the game should go. How the game should go realistically is nobody should be dogs. We can't be in the perfect world. Nobody should be dogs, but I don't think a man. I don't think a woman should be thinking like a man, and I don't think a man should be thinking like a woman. Like and I don't know where that switched, like where that mindset switched, but this is why everybody's single these days.
See, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with having a little bit of fun.
Of
Like,
course,
to be like, oh yeah, like when this song comes on, because I'm not gonna lie, I've said, and you know me, you know the person that I am, you know the type of music that I listen to. Like, I don't even know any of these. Like, I literally only know, I don't even know that Glorilla song. I only know the line that everybody else knows. 7 p.m. Friday. That's literally
yeah,
the only thing that I can say. I don't know any of those other songs, any of those other artists. So there's like a particular Meg the Stallion song that comes on. And I'd be like, oh, when this song comes on, like it makes me like bring out my inner Meg. But for me, I'm saying like the confidence that she exudes, the sexiness,
yes.
like the, you know what I mean? Like
Not being a hoochie
the
mama.
right, like
We
the, you know
we
what I mean? Like,
and I'm not also grandpa. Like, if you want to
oh,
shake
we
your
know,
ass a little bit, you just go shake your ass a little bit. I don't
we
care
know.
about that. But don't tell me, right? Or not me specifically, but don't cry on Facebook saying all these motherfuckers is thirsty when you out here doing trap shit.
Right, that part. No, seriously, because, and I'm a woman and I'm saying this because I see it a lot. People be like, oh, I'm so tired of the attention. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of that. So stop making yourself be noticed. Like you're doing things for the attention and then you're mad that you're getting it. Make it make sense. Put some clothes on.
Pick which one you want. You want the attention, or you just want the likes of? Because people always going to compliment the. People always going to feel sorry for somebody who get it. Somebody get on Facebook. Oh, this man's a piece of shit. He whoops my ass. He cheats on me all the time. People, girl, oh, I feel bad for you. Oh my God, you could do better. You a queen. People do this shit for the attention.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of
Absolutely.
10, they going right back to that man who probably never put his hands on her and probably never cheated, um,
Uh-huh.
but did it for the. And I've been
I
in
see it
that
all the time.
situation. I've been in that situation or a situation where that particular person went on Facebook to make me look like a bad person. And, and it is what it is. And I took that L, even though it is what it is, because I'm the type of person. However, if you really want to believe that perception on me without asking
That
me or getting to know me, think it. I don't
right,
give a
you do that.
fuck. But just keep it. I'm big on keep the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the people calling me racist, my family people calling me prejudiced and racist. If that's how you feel, keep that energy. And
Yep.
if you keep that energy, you can't be mad at me when I be like, if that's how you feel, fuck you too.
Right.
Cause you giving me fuck me energy without saying it, without saying Isaiah, fuck you. You basically saying it. And I'm not here to read between the lines. Tell me how you really
Right.
feel. Fuck you, Isaiah. I feel like you're a racist. All right, bet. Fuck you too. And don't play victim. I hate when people get playing the victim. When you come attack me and I come back at you, you want to play victim. I don't like that. You don't got
Yeah,
time
I
for that.
hate when people fucking throw rocks and hide their hands. I hate that. That's one of my
So,
biggest pet peeves.
yeah, man, stop in 2025. Stop acting like a hoochie mama, ladies, cause you feel me. In all actuality, us men like that shit. But you want to know what? And I'm gonna be honest with you. And we might fall for you, and we might commit to you, but that shit is we only gonna like you for about 3, 4 months before we tired of you.
Mm, that's tough.
Cause you wanna know, we could get that hoochie mama energy from anybody. Like,
That's tough.
we get hoochie mama energy from anybody. Fucking give your man a massage. Fucking tell your man you love him. Tell your man you care about him. Rub on your man's stomach. Rub his beard if he got one. Do shit like that. That's what we really fuck with. That's what we really like. If you really want us to stop being so fucking tough, just go out your way and do some of those things. You don't gotta do all of them. Like you don't gotta cook for your man if you don't know how to cook. You don't gotta learn. But if you
It's
want a
20.
husband,
It's
but
about to be 2025. I'm gonna need us women to learn how to cook. I'm gonna need us men to learn how to cook.
if
Grown
you
people
if you want
need
a
to learn how to
husband,
cook.
if you want a wife, learn how to cook. If you
Like
want a
grown
husband,
people,
if you want a wife, stop taking out. It's okay to take out every now and then.
especially if
And
you
learn
have
how to
kids.
cook.
I'm sorry, you need to learn how to cook. I'm sorry for anybody that offends, but that's crazy.
Listen, watching my mother cook for me, my sister, my brother, and my father every night was sickening. I told myself I'm never gonna depend on a woman to cook for me. If a woman cooks me, that's beautiful, but if she don't, I will get my black ass up and I will cook for myself.
And you sure do. And I'm still waiting on my plate, so I'm gonna come get it.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I'm starting to get into them. I actually feel like for the past probably year or two, I haven't had motivation to cook. I could probably tell you off the top of two hands how many times I've cooked this year. Like, I just make little simple shit. Like, my motivation just haven't been there, but it's slowly getting there. I'm
I
telling
know,
you, man.
and
People will really, you know, the way how people did me on the business front of things just made me not even, just made me, I had to reevaluate my love for cooking it again. And it took a while and I appreciate and I want to apologize for everybody who's patiently waiting for me to start those things up. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. One day it's going to happen. You know,
I
when
should
it
have took a picture
happens,
in my sweater when I had it on today and sent it to you.
speaking of that, I'm relaunching the merch soon too. So if you want the
Hey,
sweatshirts, if you want the new logo, all that is coming up soon.
you got
You know.
beanies? I need some beanies
Yeah,
back.
I'm gonna have beanies, all that on there, all that
But
good stuff.
you
I have the
already know
website.
how
I
I'm
just gotta
coming.
launch it. There's dads, all type of stuff on there. But yeah, man. Um, I got another question for you.
Uh huh.
In 2024, right?
Mhm.
Because it seems like everybody's breaking up all of a sudden, right? It's like that time. I don't know. It seems like for the past like 3, 4 months, everybody been having relationship problems. Do you think why do you think relationships are crumbling the way they are these days?
Because I don't think
Why aren't relationships lasting longer than our grandparents and our old uncles and aunts and shit like that?
because that's a very good. Hold on, I'm just mommying at the moment, pouring some juice. But it's so funny you asked me this because I was talking to a really good friend of mine yesterday, and I said the same thing. We were kind of having a similar conversation, excuse me, and I said the same exact thing that you just said, and I'll tell you why in 1 second. Sorry, people. Children come first. So I truly believe like these days, nobody really takes the time to get to know the person that they're with. I feel like people will go off of a vibe and the vibe will be good for a little bit. And then you really learn about this person's ways and shit just goes awry and you're like, yeah, nah, I'm all set. But I feel like we didn't, sure, we seen our parents together, some of us, and, or even, step parents that have been in, our lives or their lives for, most of their life. But people want the marriage or the relationship that they see, but they don't see the work that gets put into it, nor do they see how they even got to it in the first place. Like our grandparents and great grandparents, they had to court each other, right? They had to ask permission to date, you know? Like they weren't just out here sucking and fucking on day one and bam, they're a thing. You know what I mean? Like they effort and time was put into it. And I feel like we want so badly to have the relationships that we see that we're not really paying attention to the relationship that we're in. And then I feel like a lot of us are building relationships off of trauma bonds. We're each like, oh, this relationship sucked, you know, then the person that you're with, oh yeah, I just got out of a bad relationship too. Oh my God, we just got out of bad relationships. Let's start one and be better. But all you guys do is trigger each other because you're trying so hard not to be what the other person just dealt with, if that makes any sense. Because that was what it was for me in my last relationship. So that was more so personal. But I have friends who are going through the same things just in um different situations. So like I just feel like it's the work. We're not putting in the work. We're not taking the time to put the effort into getting to know our partner. And then social media can play a part in that because some people like to be private. Some people want to be public. Some people like to be private because they don't want everybody in their business. And then you got people who want to be public because they're happy and they want to scream it to the universe. So then
The
that
majority
creates
of
a
the time,
conflict.
they're not happy though. And a lot of when they
And
do it,
that
they're
and
not
that
happy.
also is a big thing. People put on such a big front for social media that their relationship is actually trash, but nobody would even know because they put on this big front. And I feel like they continue to put on a front, which then creates more problems because why are you pretending like we're fine when you know that we're not even sleeping in the same bed? Like it's you know, that's just me personally. I feel like every location is different. because my friends in other states got different shit going on, and I'm like, oh no, that's that's not what we got going on up here. So I don't know.
That's my thing about it, right? This is my perspective, and you know, like you said, we all got our own, me and mine's butt heads. Well, these days, we ain't the best of friends, and I play a lot of that shit. And my personal life played a lot of that shit. A lot of my decisions, you know, played a lot of it, and every day, it's a working battle every day. Cause at the end of the day, this is about to be a sobby little fucking moment, mushy mushy moment, and
That's okay.
so
We it's real. We having deep
so
conversations.
that's
That's
because
what we
at
do.
the end of the day, that's the woman I'm gonna marry, and
Mm,
in my heart, I know that. And I haven't made some of the best decisions. No, I didn't cheat. No, I didn't put my dick in other women. But shit, fuck, I'll be vulnerable. Fucking, leaving for multiple nights, even if I'm at a boy's house or whatever the fuck, you know, not coming home, coming in the morning because there's tension. Just stupid mistakes that I've made that
mhm.
cause tension within the relationship, or just I'm taking my frustrations out on because of my everybody on this podcast know about my health issues in my eye because I'm pretty much vulnerable.
Mhm.
Taking it out on her because she's around me all the time, and she's just taking strays. And as women, when women start getting, and as a woman, when they start holding resentment, they start restricting certain things. The
Mhm.
distance go there, and you know, the attraction turn off. They may
Mhm.
not get butterflies like they once do, or they may not. They still love you to death, but they not as attracted to you because how you treated them. And these are some of the things I'm personally, as a man, I'm trying to work on because at the end of the day, this is the woman I want to marry. And this is just a 32-year-old ass man being honest with himself. 10 years ago, I wouldn't be this vulnerable. Like, whatever, she could go. But I know if I say that, I'm gonna be devastated the moment that happens. And so, like you said, people just give up and people just stop trying. And and I'm one of those guys, you know, you know, I work for mine, and my message
Mhm.
to my message to any man out there, and this actually is gonna translate to the next thing I'm gonna say. If you really love that woman, this is man to man to talk. Listen, if you love that woman, man, do literally everything except kill yourself. You know, not get her back, but to evolve yourself for yourself. And by involving yourself, you're gradually going to get that person that you love back. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. Shit, it may not happen 4 months from now. But if that's the person you love, you're going to better yourself for you. Because a woman will love a man that's trying. A woman loves a man that's making effort.
We are, but we also, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I wouldn't be real if I didn't say we also do not wait forever. We will not wait forever.
Sure.
So you need to make sure that you figure out before it's too late, like you did, how to get your shit together, or your chance is gone. And you may feel like she is the woman for you and she's the love of your life, but like you said, the butterflies will change, resentment will build up, and she will no longer see you as such. And I know, at least for me, when I am pushed to a certain point, in my friendships, in my relationships, I tell people all the time, I'm at a point where I'm starting to build a wall. And once that
Mhm.
wall is completely built, there is no way for you to get through it, get under it, get over it, get beside it. Like the wall is there and that is it. The wall is not coming down. So I will tell people when we're there, and if they continue to do shit to build the wall, once the wall is there, that's it. There's nothing I can physically do to change the way I feel. So, fellas, take his advice
Listen, man,
and fix
listen.
yourself so you can be better for her. But you need to do it
Listen.
before your time is up.
The realest shit I ever heard is this. The realest shit I ever heard was this. And man, you can either take what somebody you care about. You can either take it two ways. You could think it. You could take it and sink it in and deal with it, or you could be a pussy about it. And this is one of the realest things I ever heard. I was told, listen, I'm not like you. I can't turn I can't turn my switch on and off like you. Like today, you could be pissed off with me and damn near hate me and don't want nothing to do with me. And then tomorrow, you want to love me like a queen. I can't do that. It's either my switch is on or my switch is off. And right now, my
Ain't that
switch
the
is
truth?
off. That don't mean I want anybody else. But right now, I can't trust you right now. And that's the
Amen.
realest shit. And I only had I had only two options. Either take it in, soak it in, analyze it, or just be like, alright then, that's how you did, fuck you then. If I tell her that, what you think gonna happen? If I be like, alright then, that's how you, fuck you then, being insecure about what she just said, you
Hmm.
know? What you think gonna happen next?
I
I
already know
tell
what's
you,
gonna
well,
happen next.
fellas, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen next. The next dude that showed her attention, you gonna jump right on that. Not to be a hoe, but okay, if it's fuck me, this motherfucker acting like even if he just want pussy, right? She might bite the bait. Because, alright, the person that I love just pretty much told me fuck you when I just told him how I felt. That means he don't give a shit about me. Oh,
Some
I'm a,
some some women will. Some women
yeah,
will. Some women won't. Some women will entertain the idea, not even the
right,
idea of the physicality of things, but
right,
just the attention,
right,
just so she can show him, like, okay, what you want, somebody else will. Not
right,
that I will let them, but I just want you to know that I still can do what the fuck I want.
right.
I've been there,
Right.
and I've
So,
said that. I've said that exact thing. I don't have a switch because I really don't. I don't like. I can't just turn it off. Like when you piss
so,
me off, I'm mad. There is
so,
no I'm okay like 2 hours later because you're okay. No, I'm still mad, motherfucker. You pissed me off.
so that just put me as a man in a perspective of I gotta be more mindful how I treat people,
Mhm.
and specifically her, but just people in general. I gotta
Generally.
if I'm having a bad day, I gotta learn how to channel my bad day and not breathe in that energy into the next person.
Mhm.
And that shit is so hard because I've been living like that for 32 years that when I'm mad, everybody gonna feel this shit. And that shit is just not fair. That's not fair. But back to to my perspective, why I feel like relationships don't last. It's for me two things, right? Forgiveness, right?
Mhm.
Like going back to the grandparents, and you see these people who've been married for 40, 50 years. I don't condone stepping out of relationships or whatever this stuff or making bad decisions. But if we did a survey, we interviewed 100 people who survived over 30 years of marriage, 40 years of marriage. If we interviewed 100 of them, I will say at least about 90 of them said, I had to forgive them. I had to forgive her, for whatever that meant. If it was cheating, lying, spent all the money at the casino, spent the money gambling, whatever they had to forgive, you know.
Mhm.
They gave them. I'm from believe everybody deserves a second chance, you know. They gave them a second chance, and whatever they did with that second chance, they did with that second chance, you know.
Mhm.
But I don't. People sit here and think people don't survive 40 years with somebody and it's been all blues and gold.
Of course not.
That's where people get misconception. Do I want you to? Do I want you to cheat? No. Do I want you to get cheated on? Absolutely not. I know how it feels to be that. Know, know how it feels, and I also know how it feels to get caught up. I've been in
Mhm.
both I've been in both spectrums of the light, and they're both not cool. They're not cute. But what I'm saying is, right? If you really love that person, if you truly, truly, truly love that person, you should find it within yourself. Like, I don't want to make this episode about mine, but and this is why I will never do it. Because one other thing she really want, that girl is thorough. I asked her, I said, yo, if I ever cheated on you, would you consider still be with me? What she said was, hey, if you ever cheated on me, don't tell me because I don't ever want to find out. But if I did find out, I could probably see myself, um, trying to work things out because I'm in love with you. That right there is why I would never cheat on her because I wouldn't want to put her in a position to even contemplate if her love is deep enough for me that she would
Mhm.
still want to be with me if I cheated on her.
Mhm.
No, I won't. I wouldn't never put her in that compromising position. And another thing is space. You and your partner need space,
Agreed.
especially if y'all live together. Y'all need to have your own hobbies. Y'all need to have your own friends. Y'all need to do your own things. Y'all need time to miss each other. When you're around each other 24/7, that's when y'all become to hate each other.
Mhm.
You need forgiveness and you need space, man. Like, if it was up to me, I'll spend every millisecond with mine, but I just know I wouldn't because by day 4, I'm gonna get so irritated. Like being with this one person 24 goddamn 7. That's just how I am. I am an overly stimulated male. I get overstimulated quick. And
Mhm.
once I get overstimulated, I get irritated, you know? So, and that's the problem with today's age. I feel like they need to be clenched to one another.
Mhm. And I mean, for
And
some people it works, but like you said, you still need a break.
after a
At some
while,
point,
that
you need to see
ends.
your friends. Like you need to, like you
That
need to
ends.
have
Rather if it
some type
happens in
of
4
space.
months or 2 years, at some point fucking that
Yeah, that honeymoon phase.
Yep. that honeymoon phase get over, and so and those are two reasons why as if why relationships don't work because people are just you know people are so like and it ties in together because like you said you need to get to know your significant other before you call him your significant other. So
Mhm.
because the more you get to love them, or the more you get to know them, the deeper you fall in love with them. So the, the reason why a lot of these people cheat is because it's so easy. It's so easy and accessible to cheat nowadays.
Mhm.
It's so easy, and that's why I keep my business off the internet because it's like men. From a male perspective, I don't know how it is from a woman, but from a male perspective, a male always go after the woman that is in a happy relationship.
Yeah, because you want what you can't have. I feel like it's about the challenge.
And I
I
don't
mean,
know. I don't know. I don't know if women do that to men that's in a relationship.
absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. Because what woman doesn't want to be like, oh, bitch, well, like I took her man. Well, what woman doesn't want to be like, here you go, like she clearly wasn't doing anything for you, so let me do that. And then just knowing it's ego. It's all about ego. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but as a woman, I've seen other women do this to other women, and it's yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, by all means, dude, no judgment. I no judgment at all. Y'all do what y'all want. Y'all are grown, y'all do what y'all want. But I feel like it's an ego thing.
Do you think relationships will last longer in the near future, or you think it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse
I
as they
mean,
listen to this
this younger
music
generation,
and
Lord, God
they
help them. I don't know what to say about these child.
they
I,
they're highly influenced.
I don't know what to say about them. I feel like I have some hope for our generation because, some of us are getting our shit together. Some of us are thinking ahead. Some of us are done playing games. Like, I feel like, people are living through their 20s playing, and then they get to their 30s and they're like, I bet I'm an adult. I need to settle down. Like, I feel like there's some hope for our generation. But this younger generation, I truly have no hope for. And I feel really bad because I don't know what's to come for them, truthfully. I don't.
Mm, there, no, I don't even think about the younger generation because the younger generation stress me out.
Listen, that's why I said I don't. There's like, I, I, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. They're different. I don't want to say I don't have any hope for them. I kind of don't, but
Cause
I don't know.
it's like they want like it's the younger generation is so potent that they bleed into our generation and older generations. Like these people be wanting, they be wanting whatever their definition of love is, but they contradict themselves with the actions.
Mhm.
It's not to be young. We was all young. We was doing different shit, and maybe if we had the internet. If the internet was as deep as it was when we was younger, maybe we will be doing the same shit. That's why I try not so hard to, judge them, but they do frustrate me because it's like fucking 15-year-old, 16-year-old girls got half naked pictures on Facebook. Like that shit disgusts the shit out of me. Like, where's your parent? Like a lot of this shit, I'm like, yo, where's your parent at? Where's your parents?
Mhm.
But the problem is a lot of these parents are their friends
Mhm.
first, and not their parents say it, and you know, but it's like, but what really breaks my heart when I see a 30-year-old, 31-year old woman acting like that, and it's like, bro, where we at in life? Or I see it's nothing wrong going to the club, but if you living in that motherfucker and you in our age, what are we doing?
Mhm.
What are we doing? Like talking about the hoes and come on. This is my perspective on it. As a grandpa, I consider myself as a grandpa, right? Because I'm a rebel about a lot of shit. I feel like, what would you do if you was at the supermarket with your mother and some dude would pull up to you like, yo, what up, ma? You sexy as hell, ho.
Stop.
How would you?
Listen. First of all, I'm gonna look around. Like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Like, like, and these are the things I think about. Or to these young, how would you feel if you saw, but let's say this 25-year-old girl, right? How would you feel if you saw your 14-year-old girl doing the same shit that you doing? And I get it. Everybody used to I'm grown. I get it. You are grown. But at some point, you should start thinking about your decisions because at some point, you should want to be an influence
Mhm.
and not a bad one. You should
Agreed.
want to be yeah, I get on Facebook and I troll and I do my bullshit. But if you talk to me in real life, I'm gonna tell you some positivity shit. I'm not gonna be on no social media. That shit is all a facade. That shit's fake. But when you carry that shit onto your real life, and that's the problem, people take social media as real life. So what they do on social media is real life, rather if it's
Mhm.
OnlyFans or fucking Snapchat, all that other crazy shit they be doing. That's their real life. Get it how you got it. Get it how you get it. But once you have kids, right,
Mhm.
and what goes around comes around, and then if your son be like, "Mom, you was doing ba da da back in the day. This is crazy, right?" And then your sons get bullied because your mother was a whatever the fuck. Now, come on now. What goes
Mhm.
around comes around, you know? Have fun. I'm all for having fun. I like having fun in my house because I don't get into no. It seems like every time I go outside, some bullshit happens. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
just
you need to
around the
stay
wrong
your ass in the
people. I
house.
don't know.
Yeah. You need
But
to
I
stay your
can't
ass in the house.
I can't get in trouble if I'm out. Or maybe it's because I don't like people. Like people
That
irritate
could
me.
be very much so
I
that.
go out, I see some shit irritate me. I'm like, yo, fuck, what's good with you? Then that leads to some other shit, and now I'm at some shit.
I
How does a
mean, you,
how does an
but then
irritable?
again, we didn't like go out. Like,
Yeah,
so, like, we were in like college environments. Like, we weren't in like real world environments. So I couldn't even,
from a female's perspective, right? How can an irritable male become calmer, like a natural calmer person?
first of all, stop. Okay, so well, I'll ask this question first and then I can answer. What what is it about people you don't like? Is it just people? Like you just don't like people? Because I don't like people either. And
I
it's
don't like
like
people.
everything about them. The
I don't like
stupidity mostly.
people, but it's the principles. Like I look at somebody and I be like, what in the fuck, bro, made you think that was okay to do that?
Okay. So
It could be like the dumbest shit. Like somebody could make a big ass mess and just walk right over, and I'd be like, what in the fucking world made you? And that just irritated me for about 5 hours of my day, because I'm like, this motherfucker just irritated the fuck out of me. Like, are you retarded? Like, are you
so
stupid?
I would say first thing, my mother and grandmother instilled this shit in me at a very young age. And I still don't fucking like people, but I have the best patience in the world and like Harvard status type customer service skills because I remembered common sense is not so common. Not everybody has common sense. When you start to tell yourself that repeatedly, the stupid shit that people does will make you upset, but it'll piss you off for the moment and then you'll get over it because you're like, people are just fucking dumb. Because that's literally what I say. Like I literally be like, I fucking people are dumb. I hate people. Because I really do. I really don't like people. I really don't like people. I have like amazing social skills. I'm very like customer service, bop, bop, bop. Like I'm very helpful, but I really do not like people because they really piss me off. And that helps. That's the only reason why I've been able to be in customer service for so long, in the healthcare field for so long, remembering that common sense is not so common. People are really stupid. So you have to put yourself, and also what type of situations are you putting yourselves into? If you're going out to bars and you're around drunk people all the time, then yeah, of course you're gonna get fed up because you're around drunk people. But if you're like at a restaurant, or like, it depends on the environment, like you said, the environment that you're in. So maybe if you put yourself in quieter settings or calmer settings, you maybe not feel that way because you're not giving people, you're not putting yourself in a space where people have the opportunity to be an idiot.
Then another problem what I have, right? I think everybody's phony.
That, so herein lies my next point. Stop thinking, excuse me, that everybody is against you, or everybody got a problem with you, or everybody's trying to challenge you, or nobody's trustworthy. Stop thinking that. Because half the time when people go out, don't nobody be thinking about y'all. They thinking about their own shit. And I feel like the reason people get into stuff is because one person's in their head and they're making up these assumptions, or they got their own, you know, self reservations that they have going into the environment that they're going into. So now when they're there, they're all alert, they're looking around, they're watching. And then, yeah, when somebody does something stupid, like you said, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why, what possessed you to do that? Now you in trouble because you said something to somebody. Stop thinking that everything is, it's not about y'all. I told a couple of my friends this because it was getting to the point where I told a couple of my exes that too. It ain't
Yeah.
fucking about you. Everything ain't about
That's
you.
that's my biggest problem. Maybe I needed to hear that because that's my biggest problem in current past relationships, right? Well, past relationships, they just wasn't, they were, you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't,
Mhm.
I'm not here to downgrade nobody, but it is
Mhm.
those situations, but this situation is completely different from those situations. And
Mhm.
these situations, I cause a lot of the problems, and I'm self-aware. She's not perfect. She does shit because she's human. She does
Mhm.
shit. She can be selfish. I can be selfish. I think as individuals, I think we all selfish in our own ways, which we
Absolutely.
need to be selfish sometimes because we can't be completely selfless because
Mhm.
we gotta, do what we want to do sometimes as long as it's not crazy. As long as like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the bar and I'm gonna drink these shits and I'm gonna fuck somebody because I want to. As long as there's no crazy outlandish shit like that, you know. But
Mhm.
I think that's what I need to plug that into my brain. Everything is not about me, even though I don't intentionally make it about me. But like I said, I think everybody phony. I look at my significant other or anybody, and I always think not negative, but always be like, what's it, Brad? Be like, oh, when I was a child, my father said this to me, so everybody else gotta have bad intentions because of my father, you know?
Mhm.
And that caused a lot of
Well,
issues because then I do a lot of shit, you know, where if I'm in a relationship, right, I do a lot of shit,
self
just
sabotage.
self-sabotage, and I do a lot of, like, even though I'm in a relationship, I do a lot of solo mentality shit. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not considering the
Your
next,
partner. Mhm.
yeah, when I make a decision. Even if I think it's logical, or even if I think it's a good decision, it's the principle of the fact I didn't consider my partner.
Mhm. But it's
And
good that you're so aware. Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm
listen,
so proud
I
of
look
the
myself in the
man that
mirror
you
every
are.
day, but I make the same mistake, not every day, but it's like, cause I'm not perfect and I know it takes day by day for me to perfect this shit, but I just don't want to be that type of person no more. But then I find myself being that person because it's habit.
It's all you know. Well, yeah,
Yep.
and
That's
that's
all I
and
know.
that's it's like you said, it's a learning process. I'm still finding out shit about me, like things that I knew, but like when I, process old relationships or like, you know, friendships that I no longer have, like just things in general, like I'll process them and I'm like, damn, like this is why, like I am this way, this is why this happened, or like, and that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna necessarily make the same mistake again. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're gonna get burned a couple times before you finally decide to stop playing with the fire. But because, like you said, we're human, we're learning ourselves. But you have to give yourself some grace because you have truly come a long way. Like I've known you for a very long time. It's not like I just met you a week ago. Like I've known you before I had my children, like fresh out of high school, like we were kids.
Right.
And you've come a very long way. And I'm very, very, very proud of you. Give yourself some grace, take the flowers, and just know that we see you. I see you.
I see. What really bugs me out. What really bugs me out is like this transparency, right? When like you or a significant other or my little brother or my little brother's friend or etc. Right? Y'all fucking don't put me on the pedestal, I would say. But y'all glow me so much, right? But it's like my mind, right?
You
If I
still
was
believe
that
it?
if I was that like that, right? Why did I put you? Why did I put a blemish on our friendship in a particular relationship? Or why is my current relationship, you know, the way it is right now? If I'm not, solid of a dude, and these are the
Well,
questions I ask myself.
and that's normal because we always feel like we can be better because we know what we're doing. But I told you to give yourself some grace. Where you're still, I didn't say you were perfect. I said you're working on yourself, but the work that you have done is a lot. You have to take at least give yourself that. Give yourself like kudos for that because some people don't even know how to acknowledge when they're wrong or they don't know how to acknowledge like or take responsibility for the things that they have done to other people. That's big. That's truly a big thing to do. And you have done that. And I feel like, okay, real talk, have you forgiven yourself for the things that you have done to your friendships or your relationships or your like, have you forgiven yourself?
Have I forgiven myself? Yes, but since I hold myself to all right, because what I was about to say sound contradictory. So I'm gonna restate my sentences. I forgave myself to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
So like I forgive myself, but I refuse to to step over the finish line, if that makes any sense. Like I forgive myself, like yo Isaiah, you fucked up, and I obviously forgave myself because I do better more often than not. I may fuck up every now and then, or I might resent my girlfriend every now and then because it's natural habit to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
every day it gets I be more mindful that I can't do that. But some days I may slip and not give a fuck, and it shouldn't be like that. But I'm not perfect. But I'm my biggest critic. So as much as I may give myself a pat on the back, the very next sentence, I'm like, yo, but you're an asshole for doing that. But I commend you for trying, but you're an asshole for doing that.
I hear you.
It's a love-hate relationship.
And you're human, so you're gonna feel that way. But again, it's all like a process. You're a work in progress. So you're gonna still make mistakes. You're gonna still like you said, this is a way of life that you are used to because this is who you are. But well, who you think you are, should I say. And for you, I wouldn't say it's foreign, but yeah, being different and doing things, the way you're trying to do them now for the sake of other people's feelings, that's not easy to do. But you're trying, and that's the point that matters, is that you want to change so you can be better for yourself and these other people.
All right, two more questions, then we can get out of here. All right.
Okie dokie.
First question is, um, this is why I just like to ask close people that I never really cared to or even thought to ask these questions, but the more self-aware and the more, I'm not gonna say I don't love myself, but I do feel as if I need to love myself more than I do. I just like to ask these questions for, upliftment, I should say. So when I get in those devilish mindsets when I'm beating myself up, I could think about some of the things my brother has said about me or my significant other said about me or whatnot. So that being said is right. From your point of view, for somebody who know me from 2011, from 2000 almost 2025 almost in a couple months, right? You've seen the highs and the lows. You've seen the teenage me. You've seen the player me. And then you see me grow into a grown ass man who got a different perspective. That being said is what what is some of the things and the traits that you not admire about me, but be like, yeah, that's why I got mad love for that dude.
Well, I just said it right there. That you're taking accountability. You're willing to admit when you're wrong. That's really hard for a lot of people to do. And I feel like we would not have been friends this long and or been able to repair our friendship if you weren't able to do that. And I mean, I'm not perfect either. I could have played a role in, the demise for the short period of time that it was, but I mean, you know, you were willing to say, you know what, I fucked up. I was wrong. I'm sorry. And this is what I'm going to do better. And you proved to me that you were going to do better. You didn't just say that. Your actions proved that you were going to do better.
'Cause you wouldn't know what irritates the hell out of me.
What?
And I see this a lot, like via relationship. Like, I hate so much. The reason why it's so accessible for me to apologize, and it may take me longer eventually if I don't feel like I'm wrong, but then I'll find some type of common ground and see where I was wrong. Because I hate when and I know hate is a strong word, but I really hate this. I hate when somebody, instead of just being like, you know, apologize if that's how you make me feel, they will completely go all these other directions because they
Mhm.
got too much pride and they got too much selfishness to say, yo, I apologize. They'll make excuses. They will try to offend on why they did what they. I don't need you to do none of that shit. Just be like, yo, don't. Oh, I did this because you did that.
Mhm.
Like, fuck all that. Just be like, yo, that's not how I really see it, but I apologize, and I'll do better. That's all it takes.
Literally.
If you really care about somebody, I'm not telling you to change. I was just telling somebody this the other day. In a relationship, you don't want them to change because that's not the person you fell in love with. You don't want them to change. But what you want to do is to elevate their mind, you know,
Mhm.
be a little less lazy, be a little more motivated, set some more goals in your life for you, not for me, but for you.
Mhm.
No, because there ain't no better feeling than coming home from a long day of work and seeing a made bed or seeing the room not cluttered and all this other shit. It just makes you feel better. You don't gotta come home to clutter.
Right.
You know, it's not for me to make you change or fucking. If you smoke cigarettes or you smoke vapes, like yo, you don't gotta quit. I mean, if you want to quit, that's beautiful for your health, but don't don't smoke it every 5 seconds.
Right.
That's not me judging you. I'm just, that's chain smoking. Chain smoking is a bad habit, and not get offended over it, be like, okay, I understand, and that's why I'm so accessible to, apologizing, because it's like, I hate when people do that shit. If you told, yo, Isaiah, what you did to me was really fucked up, how you treated me, I understand I was your girlfriend, and you like, damn, right? Like, what the fuck? Man, you tripping. Like, well, of course I'm about to choose my girl. Like, instead of doing all that extra shit and be like, you know what? You're right. And it's not even about right or wrong, right? It's
Mhm.
about treating somebody right or wrong. That's what it's about. If you
Mhm.
treating somebody wrong, if you in a relationship with somebody and you doing things that irritate them, piss them off, you may not have to stop it, but tweak it a little bit. Like make adjustments. It's not about changing, it's about making adjustments. Because you can
Mhm.
adjust without changing.
Right.
And I could go deep with that, but we've been deep enough. But you can you can just make a little tweaks. For example, I'll put it to y'all the best like this. Cooking, right? Let's say macaroni and cheese, right? You make mac and cheese a certain way, right? Somebody else make mac and cheese and you like how their mac and cheese tastes better. You're like, how you make it? And they tell you their recipe, right? You may not use their actual recipe because you like your recipe. You just gonna use a little of their shit just to tweak it a little bit. Just to
Right.
adjust it a little bit. You ain't
I mean, but
changing
that's what
your recipe.
relationship is. It's
Yes,
sacrifice. It's compromise. It's
yes.
compromise. That's another thing.
Put
I
your
mean,
pride
I know we're
aside.
done. Exactly. I know we're done, but that too is why I feel like relationships are not lasting. Nobody's willing to compromise because they're too busy
Hmm.
trying to not change themselves. But it's not about changing yourself. It's about respecting your partner. But we'll get into that another time.
Yeah. Now, the last question I'd like to ask is if you had to give your younger self 3 words of advice or just any 3 things of advice, what would you tell them?
Mm. Um, know your worth. Yeah, know your worth.
That's it.
Yeah, know your worth because I I feel like I spent I spent a lot of my life catering to other people and being a people pleaser. I spent a lot of my life diminishing myself to make other people bigger and or making myself uncomfortable so that other people are comfortable. And that's not fair to me because I don't deserve that. I'm a badass bitch. I'm a phenomenal woman. And I mean that in the most respectful, way. badass bitch. But yeah, I feel like now that I know my worth, I don't stand for anything less than what I know I deserve. And that is honestly getting me very far in making the decisions that I need to make for myself and for my family. So, yeah, know your worth.
Okay, okay. And every
And
week
you?
what I would give advice to my younger self is, honestly, don't change anything.
Mm,
Don't change anything except for the person, for the person that you strive to be. Or I'll put it to you like this. Don't change anything, but learn at a younger age to learn that it's okay. Because I can give out an abundance of love, I just can't accept it or whatever.
mm,
Maybe like I tell people all the time, I think it's like you were saying earlier, so, you know, and to myself that is like, I think it's all about, like I said, I think everybody is full of, is full of shit, and it shouldn't be like that. I need to learn how to like you said, tell myself that not everybody is out to get me and everything ain't negative and, people want to love you. So I'll tell myself, don't change everything except for your pride.
mm. That's deep.
Don't change anything but your pride because, I lost a lot of friendships and I lost family and I lost people I genuinely cared about because my pride told me they could go.
Mm,
Not because I may have wanted them to go, but my pride and my egotistic fucking mannerisms. Like, you don't need nobody in your life. As long as it's not your mother, if it ain't your brother, you don't need nobody in your life. And
mm.
that played a huge part in my regular relationship. I did a lot of shit to make it seem like I didn't need her. Right?
Got it.
And men, in closing, I'll tell y'all this, right? This may be some pussy shit to say. It's okay to need your woman, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's okay to need your woman, bro. Like, it's okay. Like, I
And
know
we love that feeling. The same way y'all feel like, you know, it makes us empowered as a woman. The same way it empowers you guys to be able to do manly things and provide and all this shit. It makes us feel just as good to know that our man needs us. So yes, absolutely take that advice.
you know, and I know we live in the age where, oh, you a simp. You a
Okay.
this. I tell my brother this all the time. When you find a woman, bro, I'd rather you be a simp than to be a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him growing up in school, I'd rather you be a geek than to be a hoodlum.
Yep.
If people were like, cause he into like agriculture or what, I'm like, if people want to make fun of you, call you, I'd rather you do what you want to love than you be out here making mistakes.
Right.
Like, listen, man, we gotta go back. We gotta go back to the '90s. We gotta go back to the '80s, man. The problem is we fuck shit up. Like, we don't love our women like the men used to love our women. We don't sing to
Good
our women
point.
like we used to sing to our women. Our women don't cook and do all these other things like they used to do for their men. Fucking
Some of us,
yes, I'm just majority, not majority. I
but
just say some women and some men. Like, we stopped doing this shit. We stopped doing cookouts. We stopped doing all these things that we seen our elderly doing growing up.
mhm,
And it's
mhm.
because of the internet. It's because, OG show, but, scheduling and everything is tough, but we're trying to find some type of consistency. But, we're gonna get there. And,